Want to see me enclose this roller coaster and take it to space with the help of this building? Then this video is meant for you. This is Coaster Master and I'll be seeing you on the other side. Hi friends, this is Coaster Master here. Today we're gonna start this episode with finishing a roller coaster we started in the previous episode. That is this Karnan style roller coaster. Now again, if you do not know what Karnan is, just look it up. You'll find something called des schwur des Karnan. Yeah, it's that. It's a pretty deranged roller coaster. It looks pretty awesome. I haven't been on it, but I've heard some pretty awesome things about it. So, yeah, if I ever get the chance to ride it, I'll say yes, obviously. And I'll tell them that I actually made a roller coaster fairly similar to that one on my YouTube channel, and that'll be interesting. But yeah, also, Planet Coaster says that this roller coaster has inversions, while actually mine does not have any inversions. I have no idea why Planet Coaster thinks that my roller coaster has inversions. It's weird, but yeah, I guess that's just Planet Coaster. You have to live with it. But other than that, the stats on this roller coaster are pretty accurate. And yeah, by accurate I mean awesome. Yeah, the stats are pretty awesome. The fear is a little high, but other than that, the excitement is nearly an 8, like 7.81. That's a fantastic rating. And yeah, can't say any more. You know what? Now that I've said so much, why not, try looking at a POV of this thing? Maybe it'll maybe it'll tell you what this roller coaster would be like. Okay, so now that I've shown you what this roller coaster is like, let me start building the structure around it because, it's pretty important to do so here. Yeah, I'm going to be enclosing all three of these roller coasters, out of which two of them are the largest in the park. Not even kidding, they're larger than Psychedelia and the Polar Coaster. By which I mean it's not really taller or faster, it's just massive in area and height and volume. Yeah, it's basically massive in every which way possible. Yeah, I would have loved to make it a lot larger, but then I was running short on space and I did not want to spend a long time making this building. I just wanted to spend like one episode, and guess what? I am going to be finishing most of the building this episode. Yeah, but I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff off camera because, building buildings are. It's pretty boring to build a building. So, yeah, here I am building a building. I don't know why I actually like that. But yeah, I mean, you can skip a few minutes from now and yeah, around 10:05. Then at that time you'll be seeing just how massive that building is, and I wouldn't even be done by then actually. That'd just be giving an idea of of just how massive this building is. And by massive, I mean it's gonna enclose these roller coasters completely. Now, take a look at this. Two of the largest roller coasters in the park, stacked side by side, and both of them are going to be covered by this one building. And oh yes, did I mention the Scannon roller coaster, the Scannon style roller coaster actually, my bad, is also going to be partially covered by this building, and it's gonna have a train station inside, and it's gonna have some more stuff which I'll not be telling you, but it's mainly just paths. So yeah, a lot of pathwork actually. The pathwork in this episode was quite difficult because I had to make sure that every single path was aligned and it did not go too near to a roller coaster's track. It was pretty difficult. And again, as usual, it's just so satisfying to see myself make these buildings in, time lapse. I just like how quickly I see the building being made. I actually spent a good 3 hours making this building, including the off-camera work. So yeah, that's a lot, but again, I thought I would take around 5 hours to make this thing, just because of how gigantic it is. Really, yeah, we're still not at the 10-minute mark, and yet we have a massive building in front of us. It's so big. And you know what? I'm actually thinking of theming the Karnan style roller coaster, the Infinity Coaster. Let me just refer to the Karnan style roller coaster, the one I just showed you, the POV of. I'll refer to it as the Infinity Coaster because that's basically what it is. And yeah, it's an awesome coaster. It's really not the standout coaster in the park because, I have still not made the standout coaster. That's right. Psychedelia is not the standout coaster. This dueling launched indoor space themed roller coaster is also not the star roller coaster. That's just a GP magnet. Like dive coasters. And I don't see enthusiasts liking it as much as the GP would. Again, just like dive coasters, if you know what I mean. But yeah, this is just to bring in the crowds, and I think it'll do so. It's gonna bring in at least 1 million people. Because, there are more people in Planet Coaster than in the real world, and technically, there's only a few parks they can visit. It's not the infinite number of parks that Planet Coaster really allows. I actually never understood the logic behind that, but I can't complain about it. It means more revenue for my park. So, yeah, not a bad thing at all. Kudos, Planet Coaster. So yeah, building the platform and the roof took a lot of time because I did not know how to use the copy paste function properly because it's pretty new to me. I literally just I literally just started using this function. So I'm still just getting used to it. I never really understood how to use this function properly. But yeah, I guess after this episode, I'll be pretty comfortable using this. And maybe if I redo this building after this episode, I'll probably take 2.5 hours, or maybe if I plan everything correctly, even 2 hours. Because really, it's a very simple building, if you know what I mean. It's massive, which is why it took so much time, but really, it's just a few walls. There's not a lot of interior work done in this building, which is kind of what I want to do here. But yes, as you saw in the intro, I am gonna be adding some screens with stars on them. So yeah, so that these two dueling launched roller coasters are in space. That's what I meant by taking them to space. Not any other literal meaning, but yeah. I guess sometimes you have to take some stuff metaphorically, but other than that, I guess it's pretty cool, right? Yeah, I think I'm good here. But yes, a problem I didn't think of was the terrain because the terrain actually took up a lot of the floor, as you can see in this shot, really. Yeah, it took up way too much space. But yeah, I mean, it was worth the amount of work I put into the building. It was just a couple of seconds job to get the terrain sorted out. So yeah, That wasn't that big of a deal. But other than that, making this building was pretty time taking, as I already told you. And now we've hit the 10-minute mark. So yeah, you can see just how massive this building is. So I'm just gonna be talking about the dueling coaster now. I'm gonna I'm gonna call it Torpedo. I have no idea why. Maybe it's because of the dueling flying snake dive. But yeah, I think torpedo is just such a fitting name for it. Because you shoot torpedoes in space. In Star Wars, Luke Skywalker shot the torpedoes into the Death Star. So yeah, there is a lot of thought behind the name Torpedo. And I think it really fits with the theme of the roller coaster as well. And I think the flying snake dive, it almost feels like you're gonna crash into another train. I think that's pretty much the best effect on this whole roller coaster. It'll be interesting to see what it would be like on, the screen, I guess, in the POV. It'll be pretty awesome, I'm guessing, but hey, I can never be too sure. But yeah, I have attempted to make it awesome, so I'm gonna cross my fingers because really I have not done it off camera. I mean, I am gonna be doing it off camera, but at the time of recording, I have not done it. But yes, that allowed me to do a lot more stuff, really, in the time I had on camera. Because there's only a limited amount of stuff I can record on camera because my computer has limited storage, which is a shame, but I've got to live with it, and that just helped me not make extremely long videos. Because if I shot like an hour extra, then I could make it like a 30-minute video, depending on how much I did in those few hours. So yes, really depends a lot. But yeah, I'm going off topic again. I'm gonna try to stick to the topic of torpedoes. Or I can do you one better by talking about this train. Now, again, trains are never as exciting as roller coasters, but remember what I said back in episode 2? I think it was episode 2. Back in episode 2, I said that all of my love for roller coasters, it pretty much started with trains. So, yeah, why not just talk a bit about that right now since I have so much time and nothing to talk about? Yeah, so it was my grandfather's village where I started to like trains. Because every time I went there, I used to travel by train. This sounds so ridiculous, but trust me, it is true. Okay, now I'm just gonna really start talking. So, when I was a child, I used to be fascinated by trains, and my grandfather used to have a house that was literally next to a railway track. And I used to just love going to that house, no matter how tiny it was, no matter the fact that it was way too small to fit me, my parents, my grandparents, and a few other people. I just forgot about all of that. I just remembered the trains just because I like trains so much. I just thought of them as the best mode of transport, even better than airplanes and luxury airplanes, if you know what I mean, and a lot of other stuff. Because, trains had a track, and I was fascinated by anything on tracks, really. I mean, I could talk about them all day. When I was young, I wanted to actually become a train conductor. Yeah, I'm serious. I actually wanted to become a train conductor just because of how fascinated I was by all of this train stuff. But then I learned about roller coasters. And that's when I thought, you know what? I'll do one better than becoming a train conductor. I will design roller coasters. So, yes, that's what I'm thinking of doing nowadays. I'm thinking of designing roller coasters, and what better first step than Planet Coaster, excluding No Limits because of reasons. Primarily because No Limits is a little too advanced for my level, and again, I've literally just started into designing roller coasters. So yeah, I thought of doing something slightly simpler and then moving on to the slightly more complicated stuff like No Limits. But yeah, I'd love to have No Limits someday, actually. And here I have a fight scene at the bottom of this Karnan style roller coaster. Nope, I'm gonna refer to it as an infinity coaster because that's what it is. Yeah, so I've got a mini fight going on down there, and I'm gonna be holding you over that drop, so it is gonna be pretty awesome. I can say that. I'm pretty excited to read. Sorry, I'm pretty excited to release the official POV of this roller coaster. It's gonna come out this week, hopefully. Yeah, it's gonna come out this week, of course it is. And along with that, I am thinking of getting the POV of these of this dynamic duo of torpedo roller coasters out as well, because why not? And you know what? Along with that, let me just release a couple of other POVs as well. Since I have not done anything for Gargoyle Junior and Gargoyle Senior, I guess that'll be a good idea. Maybe I can have those POVs out soon enough. And yeah, maybe Psychedelia as well. Well, that's all I have for you today. This is Coaster Master signing out, and I'll see you next time on Building an Indoor Theme Park, Part 16.